Summer.
Summer.
Ooh,
Summer.
What are you wearing?
Just my clothes.
Where are your summer clothes?
These are the only clothes I have.
It's really sad. Hi everyone, Junethany July Tano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of the new 88rising compilation, Head in the Clouds. 88rising is an up-and-coming music brand and label that houses such names as Rich Brian and Joji, Higher Brothers, Nicki, some of the most significant up-and-comers in the fields of rap and R&B right now. Over the past few years, 88rising's name has been growing and growing and growing, with one viral hit after another, and seeing the successful transformation of George Miller's career from YouTube troll artist to like moody alternative R&B star. And while it seems like each artist under the 88rising umbrella is doing pretty good respectively, there haven't really been a whole lot of opportunities up until this point to come together as a collective, as a group. And while the brand is easily one of the hottest commodities out there right now, make no mistake that they're still kind of establishing themselves. And what better way to do so and potentially grow your audience than by coming out with some kind of focused compilation of simple summer jams, because kids are gonna listen to it, it's gonna get popular, it's gonna get hits, it's gonna get plays, it's gonna go viral. Now, I heard some tracks from this compilation before it had been released, and I was pretty impressed with what I had heard so far. Nicki's contributions to these tracks sounded fantastic. Joji was really kind of pushing himself outside of his comfort zone on these more upbeat and sugary songs, especially on the song Peach Jam with Blockboy JB, which is easily the most tongue-in-cheek and flirty song of the bunch here. A track that I ended up hearing much later as it was released as a single, don't want to create any confusion there. So let me say, even though I think tracks like Midsummer Madness are fantastic, amazingly catchy, I love the vocal line that Joji brings to the table, the acoustic guitar arpeggios that are worked into the track, the very sweet beat, everything that lyrically Rich Brian and Higher Brothers bring to that track. I also think the idea of coming out with a compilation like this is great too, for getting the 88rising name out there. But still, everything about this compilation from the outset says to me, hey, we're gonna come together with a pretty basic batch of tracks that are groomed to see viral success on a summer Spotify playlist. Trying to blend in as much as possible with the current popular music sound palette so that we kind of fit in and hopefully gain from some of the wave that everybody else is kind of riding on right now. And that is, in fact, what this compilation pretty much is, for better or for worse. I will say the label and everybody involved with this record does a pretty good job of keeping up a generally summery sound. But honestly, this record doesn't really seem to have a purpose outside of being a vehicle for the 88rising label to kind of just throw all of these songs at the wall and see what sticks. And really here they are trying everything. From really slow, syrupy, comatose alternative R&B at the opening track to a crew remix of Famous Dex's Japan. And because it kind of seems like they're dipping their toes in everything, the results of this record are just kind of mixed. There are spots on this thing that boggle my mind, like the Nicki track War Paint, which pretty much sounds like a Lana Del Rey song. Or the song Beam, which isn't bad, but it seems like the only reason it exists is to sound like a Playboi Carti song, which Rich Brian merely features on. Another track that makes me feel like the entire purpose of this record is to blend in with current trends and simultaneously, I guess, kind of compete on that level. And if that's what 88rising is intending to do on this project, I would say mission accomplished. This sounds like a great deal of everything else that you will hear out there in trap-flavored pop rap today. But again, with maybe a bit more happy-go-lucky, upbeat, bright, shiny, summery vibe. So if you like your pop rap to be really catchy, really saccharine, incredibly carefree, which I don't think I've heard a more carefree song this year than Poolside Manor. Love that synth line on the track though. It's Poolside Manor. There are some true blue bangers on this thing that I think have great instrumentals, wild vocal lines that are super infectious. Swimming Pool is one, Let It Go is another, and Disrespectin is a third. And again, all of these songs I could easily see being played on a Spotify playlist, and for some people who are listening to say, hey, play that one again. There are points when I think the compilation could have been a lot worse, a lot tackier, a lot more tasteless. Not to say they don't cross that line though, I think I Want In is a prime example of that. Meanwhile, the song Nothing Wrong with Gold Link is really a total mess. Aesthetically, melodically, it just doesn't really seem to know what it wants to do with all of the musical and rhythmic clutter worked into its instrumental. But that being said, don't go into this compilation expecting anything to kind of blow you away, go above and beyond, or really even be all that intriguing either. Because at its best, I think this compilation is catchy, it's cute, it's braggadocious, it's a little rambunctious, it's trying its hardest to have a good time, and for the most part, I think it does. But a great deal of what's on this compilation, even the high points, just kind of feel very fleeting and surface level, as a lot of the slow jams and ballads are nowhere near as interesting as the bangers, and even they kind of follow a very simple formula. Again, it is pretty cool to hear the usual 88 Rising crew in a somewhat different, brighter light, to hear one of their up-and-coming vocal talents, Nikki, get more shine and attention and opportunity, and also to hear Joji grow as a singer. I mean, the closing track on here is a profoundly emotional moment on the album, something that I think was really lacking on a great deal of the previous tracks. Again, all of these individual things are cool, but as a whole, Head in the Clouds sounds more like a commercial venture than an artistic one. And I say that because I think in the current streaming landscape, I don't really see how these songs can't kill it. And if the comp is successful, hopefully it grows the 88 Rising brand more, and they have the ability to do something a bit more substantive at some point in the future. I'm feeling a strong 5 to a light 6 on this thing. Transition, have you given this album a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best, you're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like, please subscribe, and please don't cry. Just leave a comment in the comments if you're feeling full of thoughts. Over here next to my head is another video that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, 88 Rising, forever.